Here's an early 80s model Pioneer turntable. It is the PL-2. This thing has been packed away for a while. I had to clean it off just so you could see that it was a turntable. There was a lot of dust on it. This thing being so old, I think I remember this turntable from when I was a kid. And actually this particular one, because this is my brother's. And the reason why this doesn't work is the belt. And back then we were playing around because we didn't really know nothing about any of this stuff and didn't take it in to get it repaired or anything. So we attempted a workaround, a temporary workaround. And you can see it doesn't have a belt, but our temporary workaround was just a rubber band tied together, a couple of them, to go around the motor and around this part of the table. And it worked. It did its job, but you know, over time, rubber bands are junk and they break. But yeah, so hopefully that's the only thing wrong with this one. There isn't much we can do right now until I get a belt. And I mean, unless we go back to the rubber band. But I'm going to see if I can find a belt for this, and then we'll try to get it playing and see if there's anything else wrong with this. So the first thing we have to do is try to figure out what size belt we need. And the easiest way I can think of doing it, besides, I haven't tried looking it up online to see what it is, but see if anybody says what it is. But the easiest way I can think of right now is just putting this on backwards like that. And I just got a piece of wire here, and I'm going to wrap it around there where the belt goes. And where my wire starts, I'm just going to put it right where the motor is, and then finish pulling this around. So on the other side of the motor, where those two pieces meet, I'm going to grab that with my finger. So this is how long the belt would be if you cut it. And I'm going to measure that. Try to with this. And it looks like it comes out to about 25 9/16. So if I hold this, try to hold the best I can without it moving. 25 9/16 or 25 5/8. I would probably go to 5/8. So 25 inches and 5/8. So we keep that number in mind, and then we go to some site online and figure out how they measure their belts, and try to grab one that's a little bit smaller than that, so it'll have some tension on it. I know some of them measure them like that, and others will actually have you take the belt like this and pull it like this and measure it this way. But you can always just take the 25 and 5/8 and divide it in half, and that's what's going to give you this way. And then of course you still go a little bit smaller, just so there's some tension on there, so the motor is going to be able to spin that thing around. All right, look what I got. I ordered this from River City Electronics in Newburgh, Indiana. It looks like it was like 10 bucks. I didn't try it on yet. See if everything's good. So we'll do that together. There's about how big it is. All right, let's get rid of this. Pop that back up. Oh yeah, look at the mess. I forgot about the mess. Get our hard rubber band out of there and all the bug guts. How about we just put it there for now? This is not a cleaning video, it's a see if we can get it working video. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this on here. Feels like it's gonna be a snug fit on there. So it's nice and flat all the way around there. Don't want no twists in there. And then we gotta grab it through here. Set it on there and around the pulley. Or around the motor, I mean. And unfortunately this amp that I have sitting next to me doesn't have phono inputs. So it's, I don't know, it's just a surround system, so it doesn't have inputs for our jacks. But we don't care about that really, we just want to make sure this thing spins and acts right. So let's put that on there. And look at this. We'll even throw this on there. Just remember we can't hear it though. Back in the old days, this is a good album. It's still good. Unlock. All right, let's see. Look at that. Such an easy fix. Nice. So I think we got a problem with our little button here. Because that's out now. Yeah, we're gonna have to take that apart just to see what's going on. And I'll have to get a try to get a receiver or something that I can plug this into so you can hear it, even though I know we can't play this kind of stuff on YouTube. So I was able to hook it up to this amp, this guitar amp that I got that I need to fix. So it's going to sound really bad, but you'll be able to hear the speed before I tear this turntable apart. So I'm only going to play it for a couple seconds so this way this don't get booted. But this is, you know how AC/DC sounds if you know AC/DC, and this song is Back in Black that I'm going to play. So, and I'll flip this, the lever, on and off. So let's see what it does. So right now that's on 33, and you can say it's way too fast. That's 45, and that's still too fast. This amp is a little flaky. So there you have what it's doing. So yeah, we got to fix that. If we look, our push button that's giving us problems right here. That's all it is a push button. It either pushes that switch in or pulls it out to have the two different speeds. So one speed is considered the normal place and the other one is considered switching the motor. So the motor is at one speed, and then when you switch this, it changes, it goes through the wires here and connects right over to the motor, right on these two pins right here, and that's going to change the speed of the motor. Well, for some reason that's not working right. So I doubt it likely that there's anything wrong with this switch. It could be dirty maybe, but I'm not sure. We'll have to look into it. But the other thing, okay, that makes sense. I've seen these before and I didn't pay no attention to it. We got 33 and 45. We can adjust these two pots that are underneath there to get the speed right. Now the only thing about that is I don't have one of those speed testers to make sure that it is going the right speed. And these are the pots I'm talking about on the back. Those are the ones that get adjusted for the speeds. So these might need to be cleaned. So that means I'll spray them and move them. So that's going to change those. I mean, we can adjust the speed by listening and get it close if you don't have one of those tester thingamabobbers. We'll have to look into that. I actually went on the internet and was able to download a couple templates from some people to help align our turntable. This is one of them. Enjoythemusic.com was where I got this from apparently. So this is where we set our needle at first on the dot there, and then we bring it over on this one and make sure that the cartridge is lined up with the lines. So that's the first one we're going to try. And then the second one is from Extreme Phono. They made a free one of these that you could print and see how that works. So, and you know, the precision of it all depends on your printer too, and that's just something you're gonna have to deal with, play around with or whatever. As long as you get it close, I'm sure it's not a big deal. So I'm gonna put that on there. Put this one on there. I'm gonna lower my camera down just a bit. And then we'll see when we put our needle on here. We try to put the needle right on the circle. There, I should zoom this out just a little bit. And focus right there. I think I gotta go down just a little bit more. That's close. So what we're looking at is when we have our needle setting right on the dot, right in the center, and there's a line this way too, so you just put it right on the dot and you're fine. You look down the edge of the cartridge on both sides and see if they follow the lines that are next to them. And So we're looking at this inside line and this inside line. Oop, it's a little magnetized. That's pretty close. So you can see just right there, it looks like the needle is off to the right a little bit. If I just move this over here, look at the edge of it, move this over here, look at the edge of it, you can see that it looks like the back actually comes out to the right on this side. So we need to move it in a little bit to get it lined up. So, and then we have, once we try to get that lined up, then we'll move it to the inside one. I'm just going to turn this, and then we move it to the inside one, and it should line up on the dot, the same as the other way. Put it on the dot as close as you can get it, and then look down both sides and see if it's still lined up. So if we move the camera over here a little bit, you can see it looks like it needs to come out there. Move it over here a little bit, and you can see it's on the line. Pretty bad. So we just need to adjust the cartridge a little bit like this, and then we should be good. So we just loosen up these screws here, turn it, get our adjustment, go back and forth on these until we get it the way we like it. So that's the first one. For this next one, we need to, I took the table off because I wanted to flip this over and show you that instead of just right here, there's actually spots in the back to adjust the 33 and the 45. Make sure you have the needle tied down. So there's two holes right here that we can stick a tool through to adjust those same pots from the top. Now, doing something like this, you're supposed to be using plastic tools because you're reaching in and touching the circuit board and components on there. Unfortunately, at this moment, I don't have one. I used to have some a long time ago, but who knows what happened to them. So I'm going to be very careful and use this really tiny flat blade screwdriver. So let me get this put back together, and then we'll continue with that one. And then I'm going to turn this sideways like this so I can have access and hopefully find those little holes that I need to reach up in and do the adjustments. All right here. I might have to keep peeking underneath there. Now to do this, you need some kind of a bulb, and it needs to be a 60 hertz bulb. Unless you have an LED that turns on and off 60 hertz, which I'm sure they do. I have an LED bulb right here too. We can always try it. So when you turn this on and you lift the needle up and turn the needle on, we're on 33 right now. So we're going to look at this outside ring right here. So when we turn this on, what we need to do is we need to watch this line and try to get them to stop moving. You can see up here, see how they're slowly moving across like that? We need to adjust it so they don't do that. So let me grab my tool. And of course, I don't remember which one is the 45 and which is the 33. So what we're gonna do is just guess at the moment and just start turning one. Ooh, look at that, I got the right one right off the bat. See, those lines aren't moving anymore. So I'm gonna turn it a little bit. Now you can see the outer ring lines are turning. And I'm gonna adjust it back. If I go too far, they should go the other way. So what you wanna do is you wanna adjust it just so they stop. That looks, and that's why you use plastic tools too, because the metal tools have, if they're magnetized at all, it screws it up. So, and this screwdriver is magnetized a little bit. So I should adjust it, get it to where I think it's right, pull the screwdriver out. I got it out right here. But you can still see the lines are pretty steady. So that's pretty good. And you can take as much time as you want to get those adjusted. You can see it's creeping a little bit. And then it stops. So maybe I need to go back just a hair maybe. There, it's even moving more. Too far. There we go. Oh. So you can see it's a little finicky. So I'm gonna turn this again. Right about there, right? Too far. Okay, I'm gonna call that good. You got my screwdriver out. And now let's look at the inside ring here. So we gotta flip it to 45. And now watch our 45 line. You can see now these are moving really fast. So now we wanna watch our 45 line and try to get that still. That light's getting a little hot on my hand, so. All right, now I'm gonna find the other hole. Right here. And then I'm just gonna adjust this. Oop, that's too fast. Yeah. Go the other way. And that looks pretty good right about there. I can live with that. So now you can see that 45 is still. So now, just for shits and giggles, and because this light is really super hot, and I'm gonna touch it, I need to get a rag. Let's see how this works with an LED bulb. All right, that one's warm, set it down there. Here's an LED bulb. Let's see if we get the same results. Because I know the LED bulb that's in my bedroom flickers, and it seems like it flickers at 60 hertz. But I don't know if that would work or not. So, oh, and look at that, it does. Our 45 is really steady. Nice. Let's turn it on 33. So now our 45 starts moving, and then our 33 should be still. And that's moving a little bit. 45 isn't moving as fast. But yeah, I'm not going to adjust it though. I'm not going to adjust the 33 because this being an LED bulb. But just to see, and look, you can see just with the light in the room that the 33 is pretty much settled. And that is a fluorescent bulb that's above my head. So as long as you got some 60 hertz going, then should be okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna leave that because that might be, who knows, little finicky things because this thing is so old. But yeah, I'm sure that motor has some wear and tear on it, so it ain't gonna get perfect, but you can see that it's pretty close, and I'm gonna leave it at that. All right, so there's the second way to get your turntable set up. Thanks for the templates from both of these websites for offering them free, and you can also pay for them, but you know, it's your choice what you want to do. And I'm not promoting these at all or anything, so I just happened to cut them out from there, and I guess I could have covered them up, but why do that? Give credit to where credit is due. Now there's another thing you can do that I can't do, and that is download the app and put it on your phone and set your phone on here and let this thing spin around, and it'll tell you how many revolutions per minute it's going and stuff like that. But since I'm using my phone for my camera, I can't do that because I don't have another camera to record it. I tell you what, for shits and giggles, I'll borrow somebody else's phone and I'll throw that in there right after this. All right, I think I was able to resurrect my old video camera for this. So let's try to get this done before it pukes out on us. So here's the software, one of the softwares that you can download for this. And I'm just setting it in the middle. You can set it here if you want. We can do it both ways just to show you what it does. But you can just go like this and turn it on. This is set on 45. So you can see how close it is to 45. It's off by a point something. So that's pretty close. So our little adjustment there worked out pretty good. And if you set it off to the side here, it does the same thing. It's just a little harder to follow it. But it's off by a point number. Probably a half a RPM or something like that. So now I'm going to put it on 33. And we'll do the same thing. And you can see it's really close. 32.123. That one could probably be adjusted a hair more, but I'm not going to mess with it. So this isn't going to get played like, you know, every day. Needs to sound perfect, but it's really close. You can see it goes up to 0.5 even, so it's like a half an RPM off too. So one thing about this software I noticed is if you hit the start button and you turn this on, it'll give you some more information about it once it's done. So it gets the speed, and then it starts taking data when it turns green. And then when that gets done, it'll blink and show you some more information. So it gives you the speed, how much it's off, the wow, which it all has to do with the speed. So you just want to get that as close as possible. So this, the 33 1/3 is off by minus 2.43. So that could get turned up a little bit. And if you want to see a graph of it, you know, it's first time I use this software, it's all right. So if we put it on 33 or 45 and we do the same thing, wait till it's done there, and then it'll start generating the information. And it's done. So then if you look at this, we're only off by 0.67. And I don't know how well this camera's picking that up, but it's 0.67, and the wow is 0.33. 31% off. So yeah, there's the graph on that one too. So I took this turntable over to my brother and he hooked it up to his amp and we listened to it and we heard while it was playing, and I can't show you this online because I don't have a record that is allowed on YouTube. But when it was playing the music, randomly throughout the music, it would slow down and then speed up again. So the music's playing, all of a sudden you would hear it slow down a little bit and then it would speed up again. So it was doing that, and that's annoying. So I brought it back, and what I did to start was I dropped a few drops of oil down on this bearing for this motor, and this spins pretty good anyway. Now I didn't put it on the bottom bearing because I can't get to that one, so we're just going to try that one for now. But as you can see, this seems like it spins pretty good. All right, so along with that, I pop this open, and you can see that we can't get to the bottom one unless I pop that open, and I'm not going to do that right now. So hopefully the other one will help, even though that might not even be the problem. But the turntable sits on this, and I was spinning this, and this kind of feels good, but it feels like it could be smoother. It could spin a lot better. So I'm going to put some few drops of oil on this too. I already got it loose. Just 3 screws to hold it in there. You can see that gap right in there. I'm just going to drop some oil in there, clean that a little bit, drop some oil in there, and hopefully that'll help this spin a lot better. Maybe that'll fix the problem. We won't know until after I play a record on there. So I just wanted to show you that I undid this screw right here, and back then they used grease, because I can show you this right here. It's kind of tough pulling this off, and it's because of the grease. And you can see right there in the center right here where there is still some grease piled in there. It's just having a hard time focus because I'm coming close to it. And also, set this down for a second. If you look right down here, that black line right there all the way around, that is dried grease. You can actually pick that stuff off. And it comes off. So that grease has been on there for a long time, and that's what's also potentially the problem with this thing slowing down, because that grease is not as slippery as it used to be, and you can see it on the bottom there too. It's not as slippery as it used to be, so it's turning into like mush and allowing it not to spin very good. So I'm going to clean that up really good, and then I'll put a little bit more grease in there, newer grease, and then that should be fine, and it should spin pretty good after that. Just wanted to let you see it with no grease on there, no grease in there. Everything's all clean, fits on there real nice, slides down on there real nice, goes slow because it's trapping air in there, and it spins a lot better. You can see it'll just take right off and spin. So when we add some more lubrication on there, and I'm going to go with oil, some synthetic type oil, and that it's really thin and it's durable, and it's it won't spin like this, but it should spin pretty good. So we don't want to leave it dry, because then that's just metal on metal, and we need some kind of lubrication in there. All right, so I changed my mind about the synthetic stuff. I was going to use Super Lube, but this is pretty thick, thicker than what I thought it was going to be. So I ended up going with 3-in-1 multi-purpose oil. And if you look at this, when I shake it, you can see how thin that is, and that works perfect for this turntable. Yours might be different. You never know. You just have to try it. But yeah, this didn't work for me. And you can see that I have it on 33 right now, and it's right there. It's pretty good. 33 1/3. I've listened to the album, and it doesn't speed up and slow down. If we do that little test, this is probably going to be off 0.0 something. That's my guess. Let's see how close I am. Drum roll, please. There we go. It is 0.1, so I was close. Yeah, so if I stop this, that's 0.1 right there. So yeah, that's not bad at all. So that's good. So, and this oil worked perfect for that. Let's put it on 45 and see what we get. Yeah, look at that, 45, and there's a 0.8 and a 0.9 in there somewhere. So let's run this little test. This is probably going to be one of those where I'm going to guess again that it's going to be off 0.09, let's say. Put your bets. It's like a roulette wheel. Put your bets. All right. And the number is, I can't see it because it's going so fast, 0.03. That's pretty good. So yeah, that's it. I think the 3-in-1 oil is the way to go for me. Hopefully it works for yours. And this thing, I think this thing's done. So hey, please subscribe. You'll be able to see what's coming up first. You never know what I will have on this channel. I'll try to fix just about anything. We'll see how it goes, but yeah, hit the like button, hit the like, and I guess that will be the end of this one, and we will see you in the next one.